it's Sam, and I'm here to talk about my most anticipated spring releases. So I will say that I feel like my most anticipated releases lists are getting shorter and shorter every year. I just feel like I'm not as super hyped for things as I used to be. I'm just a little disappointed with like the release calendars lately, because typically speaking, spring is one of the biggest release times for books. Spring and fall tend to be like the two that have the most really highly anticipated releases, and I don't know if it's because a lot of my favorite ongoing series have ended that I'm not seeing these releases anymore, and it makes me sad, but I just feel like I don't have as big of a list. The books that I have on my list I am really excited for. It's just, it doesn't feel the same as it has in previous years, which is a little bit sad. I don't know if you guys have experienced the same thing or not. So first I want to talk about the releases that come out in March. The first one came out on the 7th, and that was The Bone Witch by Rin Chiapeko. This sounds amazing. I have been looking forward to this since I first heard about it. I also had a few people, I think, recommend it to me when I was talking about books and stuff and things that I like. But this is about a girl who is a necromancer. She's a bone witch, so she can, you know, like control the dead. And things about, you know, like controlling the dead, going between life and dead, stuff like that, I tend to really like. Sometimes it's too scary for me, like you can get too far into like the necromancy thing and it gets really scary and I can't deal with it. But this doesn't sound like it's going to be that. It just sounds like a badass lady who is going to be taking control of some undead stuff and defeating tyranny. I don't know. I actually don't know. All I know is that she is a necromancer and the cover is like stunning. So I'm really excited for this one. Then on the 28th we have one that's going to be on everybody's list of most anticipated releases, and that is Strange to Dreamer by Laini Taylor. I honestly don't know that much about this one because it has one of those like weird synopsises and everyone kind of knows what it's about while not knowing what it's about. And I feel like Laini Taylor's books are really good to just go into like completely blind, really. And again, another like just really stunning cover. And not that I buy books for covers, although like obviously if a book has a pretty cover, I'm probably more likely to buy it because I am one of those vain consumers and I'm not even that sad to admit that. But man, Laini Taylor's writing is gorgeous. I had intentions of finishing the Daughter of Smoke and Bone trilogy before I got to this. It's not going to happen because I've still only read the first book because I'm bad about meeting deadlines when it comes to my reading. So I'm not probably going to finish it before I start this one, but I'm excited. And I also think there's a male protagonist in here, which I don't tend to read a lot of. So we will see. Then I have one release for April, and that comes out April 4th, and it is Red Sister by Mark Lawrence. Now, Mark Lawrence is an adult, usually, author. I think he has done some YA in the past, but he does mostly adult, and this is another one in his adult series. I think this takes place in the same world as some of his other books, but he does a lot of grimdark fantasy. If you're not familiar with all the different, like, subcategories of fantasy, grimdark is kind of what it sounds like. It's darker fantasy. There tends to be a lot of morally gray protagonists, kind of bordering on potentially evil villains, anti-heroes, anti-villains, stuff like that in grimdark. So it really speaks to me, and I'm trying to read more of it. And he is kind of one of the leaders, along with like Jill Abercrombie and some of those people that are in the grimdark category. So this one is about a girl who is trained by a kind of like nunnery for assassins, which is a trope that I've seen a couple of times in books and I really tend to enjoy. Like these like nunneries that train lady assassins. It just really speaks to me on a deep emotional level. So that's what this is about. This is about a girl who is taken in at the age of 8, accused of murder, and kind of goes and gets trained from there. And like, yeah, I'm feeling that. So this might be a good way for me to kind of jump into Mark Lawrence, see if I like his writing, see what kind of grimdark I want to read. But like Lady Assassins, man, it's always my jam. And last but not least, we have the May releases. The first one being another one that's going to be on everybody's lists. I know. And that is coming out May 2nd, and it is A Court of Wings and Ruin by Sarah J. Maas. I still hate the name a little bit, like I think it's really dumb, but I'm really excited for it. You guys know that I was complete trash for Akamath, that I hated ACOTAR and adored Akamath, begrudgingly, still a year later. But I am so excited for this last book. I hope that she's able to, you know, pull it out and like have it be like a good, strong conclusion. She suffers from transitions between books and just things that Sarah J. Maas and I just don't agree with, and I just don't get along with her books all the time. But this series, man, I'm into, and I'm excited. And I like that this cover's like green turquoise. Again, I'm talking a little bit more about covers than I should, but this is the last book in the ACOTAR trilogy, and there's going to be like a spin-off trilogy with some of the characters from this trilogy, so we'll get more within this world, obviously. But I'm excited for this conclusion. I hope it's good. I hope it's good. Like, please be good. Then on May 4th, we have The Seafarers Kiss by Julia Ember. This is a lesbian Little Mermaid retelling, and I am so completely here for it. The synopsis also talks about Loki, the trickster god. and it's combining a lot of things that I really love. Also, the cover's gorgeous. Okay, I need to stop talking about like covers with this, but so excited. I've heard really amazing things about this. There's been a lot of buzz about it, and Julia actually contacted me recently and asked if I wanted an arc of it, and I was like, hell yes. So I am very excited to read this one. It's right up my alley. I was never a huge fan of The Little Mermaid growing up. It wouldn't be one of my like favorite Disney Renaissance like movies. I was definitely more of a Beauty and the Beast person, Mulan, those kind of movies, but I'm excited about this. Little Mermaid, man. Like, and you know how I feel about mermaids and like sirens and stuff and pirates, like, yeah, I'm ready. I'm here for it. And the last book comes out on the 16th, and that is The Flame and the Mist by Renee Ahdieh. And speaking of Mulan, this is kind of, I think, supposed to be a Mulan retelling, Mulan inspired. You know, girl is going to be promised to somebody, is going to be, you know, matched up, and then something bad ends up happening, and she ends up dressing as a boy and going and destroying things and being amazing. So I'm ready for this. Renee Ahdieh is amazing, and I loved The Wrath and the Dawn duology, which was her like debut. So I'm so excited for this. Like, I'm ready for angstiness, I'm ready for kick-ass ladies, I'm ready for everything. Like, I will pretty much read anything that she writes at this point, so I'm here for this. So that is it for my most anticipated spring releases. Comment down below and let me know some books that are coming out this spring. So again, March, April, and May that you are looking forward to. As always, I will have more for all the rest of the seasons of the year as the seasons come. So let me know just the spring releases. I know there's good fall ones coming, but spring releases. So thank you all for watching, and I'll see you guys soon. Bye!